All right, I'm just going to go ahead and press record so we can send this to everybody who couldn't make it tonight. And Amy, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name is Amy, and I am a Beachbody coach. I've been a coach for about a year and a half. So a little bit, I'm kind of a new baby coach, but I have absolutely been loving it. And just a quick on my background. The reason I got started with this company is because I'm big on preventative healthcare, and that's the term I use to describe people taking care of their health and wellness before they get sick. And this company allows people to do that in an affordable and super convenient way. Not everybody can afford a gym membership. Not everybody has time to leave the house. So this company is incredible, and it aligns with all of my core values with my kinesiology degree. And then it's affordable, and that was huge for me. So that's why I got started with Beachbody about a year and a half ago. And you may know Beachbody as everybody knows P90X, right? Like the old school infomercials. If you stayed up too late and you saw like Tony Horton, like getting crazy, and you could order the DVD and it cost a couple $100 almost just for one program. So you're probably very familiar. Insanity is another one that rings a bell with a lot of people. Shakeology too is our superfood shake. So those are the three things you probably associate with Beachbody right off the bat. And we're here to talk to you guys tonight about how to become a coach and what it means to be a coach, and maybe do some myth busting and some debunking of facts if you have questions, anything like that. But basically, as a coach, you get to run your own business. So you get to be your own boss, and you are in charge of how you build your business. You're basically the CEO, right? And being a former business owner, like I used to own a brick and mortar dance studio, let me tell you guys, this is way easier, way less overhead, way less stress, way less drama. So it has been a phenomenal business opportunity for me. And that's really the great thing too about being your own CEO is you determine the amount of time and effort and success that you want out of this. So my business looks different than Kris's business, looks different than Becky's business. So that is it. And I want to take 2 seconds. Let's really quickly bump and let Kris introduce herself and Becca introduce herself before we jump into anything else.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Amy. And that's so funny. I never knew that you owned a dance studio. So
yeah,
I had always imagined myself owning a dance studio. And then when I started doing coaching, I was like, I never want to own a dance studio because I never, like, with the freedoms that came with coaching of being able to work my own hours, I was like, I never want to have a business where I have to show up actually at that business 6 days a week minimally, plus weekends for competitions, of course, which I would be doing. And it was like, nothing about me wants to do it. But I would say, and I do like connect with a lot of dance studio owners, because obviously you and I are both in that dance world. I danced, in New York for years and have been teaching in studios for years. And I always recommend to them, I'm like, it's a no-brainer. If I did own a dance studio, I would be a coach and I would have the products and those tools and be connecting my families and my parents with all of it's just like a no-brainer that it goes hand in hand with that. I kind of feel the same way with people that work in the gyms. Group and fitness instructors and personal trainers. That's something I always wanted to do back when I was in New York. But what I didn't know about that job too, is that if you want to be a personal trainer, you had to be in the gym 24/7, like schmoozing people and getting your own clients. And I didn't know that that's how it was done. And I was like, well, I wanted to be a professional dancer in New York at that time. And I couldn't be in a gym full time and have the flexibility to go to auditions and get business and get work and jobs outside of New York. So I never did that. I did get some certifications though. I started coaching about, oh my gosh, this is crazy. July is going to be 6 years for me. I signed up coaching because I met Megan actually at a gym. And then I hired her to teach. I loved her hip hop cardio class, which is kind of like size before that came out. And I hired her to teach at an art school that I was teaching at. And I was actually driving cross country, moving out to Colorado, which is where I live now. And I literally signed up back in the day when they had the piece of paper and that I had to sign up on a piece of paper and mail it in. And so it's cool to see the company evolve with the times. So I did that, and I had 5 jobs moving out here. I was starting a new relationship, moving to a new town, moving from city to mountains. I was starting a new job as program director, which I still work for out here, teaching dance, which I love. I was working in a dance studio. I was coaching the U.S. cheerleaders for the ski championships. And that's what I loved about getting started with this business, is that it didn't matter how busy I was or however many jobs I had. Sort of debunking, I would say, that myth of not enough time, Amy. Like, I literally started this job in the pockets of time when I was doing 5 other things. And so it was just such a gift to be able to start there, and then keep doing it for 6 years. And like you said, be able to collect that paycheck. I think you shared it on your stories today, which I totally connected with, was during this time of COVID and like this pandemic, who would have thought? And I guess it makes sense that coaching would have thrived during a pandemic when so many other businesses and brick and mortars are going to be shutting down, and people, are losing paychecks. I'm super blessed during this time that we have a weekly paycheck that has been consistent through this time. So I will pass it to Becca.
Thanks. Yeah, and I wish I had known about this when I was dancing professionally, because I was waiting tables, and I got let go from so many jobs because I would have an audition when they would want me to work a shift, and it didn't work. So that's a great point. Sorry, Becca.
Yeah, working.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Flexibility is so key with this. So key.
I couldn't agree more. Unlike you guys, I am not a dancer, but I am an athletic trainer. And honestly, I think what drew me, I actually, like Kris, I wasn't too far behind Kris. In July, I'll have actually been signed up as a coach for 5 years. So I wasn't too far behind her. But I will say that for the first 2 years, I didn't really do much but work on myself, mostly because I was nervous, and I didn't think, this is one of the myths that I had, that I didn't need this because I was an athletic trainer and I had that certification. I had worked in gyms my entire college career. I was like the supervisor of the fitness center. Being an athletic trainer, I knew how to make my own workouts. I was a group fitness instructor. I actually taught turbo kick before I even knew anything about Beachbody, and didn't even know it was a Beachbody program. I just knew that I was instructing and helping people in the gym. Again, I made $10 a person for group fitness, and I literally would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive to the studio for a 6 a.m. class for one person to show up. And let me tell you, I made $10 at 6 o'clock in the morning to drive, because like one person would show up, maybe two. And so yeah, I kind of put it off because I didn't think I needed it. I knew what I had. I had a kinesiology degree. I was an athletic trainer. I knew what I needed to do for myself. I knew how to help other people. I mean, I teach my students. I do their workouts for them. And then I actually tried the workouts and fell in love with the community, and that's what really drew me in. So yeah, that's a little bit about my story. And again, with both of them, the flexibility as an athletic trainer, I am constantly on someone else's schedule, and I am the last person they let know. Like, a coach changes practice, he lets all the parents know, he lets the AD know, he lets all the kids know. Oh wait, it's 2 minutes before I change the practice time too. I should probably let Becca know too. So like, this has changed my life because I can do it when it's convenient for me and it's on my schedule. And that was just something I needed in my life, something that was on my time and my schedule. So yeah, I'll throw it back to Amy to finish.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel that so hard. And I work a full-time job, just so y'all know, like, I have a marketing job. That's what I do. It's what I've been doing for 10 years. So from like 8 to 5 every day, I'm in an office. So I have a goal to pay off our family's debt. That's a big part of my why. It's not the whole why, but it's part of it. And me trying to go and pick up another part-time job wasn't going to work because I would never see my family. So this fits perfectly. I can do my lunch hour. I can do, we call toilet time activities. I can pop out some stuff when I'm sitting down, you know what I'm saying? But this was a huge thing for me, is the flexibility. And that's probably personally why the opportunity was so attractive for me, because it was an opportunity to help people, which is one of my core values, is helping other people. I love health and fitness, which you don't have to love health and fitness, but that was something else. And then it had to fit my life. I didn't want to spend any more, I'm 40, and I didn't want to spend any more years of my life busting my tail and sacrificing my core values for someone else's dream. That was no longer an acceptable thing in my life. So that is why I finally said yes to coaching. So we actually focus on 4 simple activities. And you'll hear me talk about these a little bit later. We call them the 4 vital behaviors. They are being a product of the product. So doing your own health and fitness journey, personal development, which is your own mental health journey, right? And wellness there and growing and learning as a person. Recognition, which I will talk for hours about how good Beachbody is about recognition and recognizing people for their hard work and their efforts, not just for achieving a certain goal, but for all the steps it takes to get to that goal. We constantly get kudos, which I love. I love recognition. Give me some pom-poms any day, y'all. And then also to just talking to people about it. We're going to deep dive into that later. But we are going to, first and foremost, we're going to talk about the benefits of coaching and what it can bring to your life. So I'm going to throw it back to Becca.
Listening to you guys talk about recognition, oh my God. I actually did something on this on my stories the other day because as an athletic trainer, and I'm sure you guys can all relate, like it's a thankless job and it's very rare that I get even a thank you. So to work with Beachbody and have them recognize like finishing a program or helping 3 people this month, like all those little steps, like it means the world to me to feel so recognized and loved by the company. So that's a huge benefit of coaching. The other thing is, like we said when we kicked it off, like you are the CEO. This is your business. We get to run our own business and we get to do it on our time and our terms. And like that to me, like blew my mind when I kind of thought it was a joke at first. Like, yeah, okay, like I can do it on my time. Yeah, you're just going to tell me that and then be like, no, I need you to show up at this time, this time, this time. I did not believe it. But that is one of the coolest things. It's your business, your time, your terms. And one of the reasons I actually joined as a coach when I first started, I was just looking for something to get me going and get me back into shape. I put on a lot of weight when I stopped competing in softball in college to pursue my athletic training degree because I was eating whatever I wanted. I never had to worry about that before because I was constantly active. So one of the reasons I signed up for coaching was to get the discount. We do get a 25% discount on all the products, and we do also get first dibs, or we get to see the programs first before the rest. I just got attacked by a bug. We get to see the programs before the general public, which is so cool that we get to test them out before they do. And if you haven't tried the programs, you will definitely find one that you love because like Amy was saying, like there's P90X, Insanity, but the list goes on, and they're constantly coming out with new stuff. Like already this year, we have another new program coming out in July, hopefully. And then depending on filming and stuff, but then I believe they have another one coming out this fall or in the works for the fall, which is just so cool that you're never going to get bored. And there's something for everyone. Like Amy and Kris are both dancers. I am not. So that's not really my jam. I definitely have tried some of the dancing programs and they're great. They're just not my jam. So it's awesome that there's something for everyone. And like I said before, like the time freedom is just huge. That's a huge benefit for me specifically, that time freedom. But there's also that income opportunity to make your own income. Obviously, it's based on what you are willing to put in and the work you're willing to put in, because Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success. Income disclaimer. But there is that opportunity to make money if you're willing to put in the work.
Well, that's a great segue, Becca.
And I'll throw it to Kris for the compensation plan.
Yeah. So I'll try to move quickly through this because this is the boring stuff, according to me, which is funny because I joined the business, honestly, to make income, to make money. But it's probably been all the benefits that Becca was sharing were way out surpassed for me the compensation plan and what this has actually compensated my life with. So yeah, we get 25% off the products, so that's like a no-brainer. If you're going to sign up to do the workouts and drink Shakeology, it makes sense just to even have the discount, which is awesome. And then you also get 25% commissions on anything that you sell or share with your friends and family and beyond. And that's not really where the compensation plan comes from. Yes, that can be a nice paycheck for you if you're an amazing salesperson. And don't worry, you don't have to be an amazing salesperson, because I know this, oh, this sounds so cheesy. I can't believe it's coming out of my mouth. But the products sell themselves. That sounded so cheesy and unlike me. But they really do. It's just like sharing when you see a great movie and you're like, oh my God, that movie is amazing. You have to go see it. That's what this sort of becomes. I'm sure Becca can relate when she, for the first 2 years, was just like working on herself. It then organically became part of the conversation because people were probably like, Becca, look at what you're doing. Like, oh my gosh, what have you been doing? And people start to ask questions as well. So, and then, and then you start to build what's called a team. So that's kind of where Team Beachbody came from. Like Amy was saying, Beachbody started with DVDs and fitness programs and infomercials. And then they saw people organically on their sort of web chat, cheering people on and like saying, oh my God, I just did this workout. You got to try this one. Or, oh my gosh, great job in doing that. And they were like, wait a minute, this is awesome. There's people authentically helping others. We need to find a way to compensate this. So they created Team Beachbody. They decided to call us coaches and created a compensation plan. So if you want to know, and you're one of those like math people or analytical people, numbers people, and you want to know all about the compensation plan, it is fully available to you. In fact, you can Google Beachbody compensation plan and you can read all about it if you're one of those people. I'm not. So break it down, you get 25% commissions, and then you start a team and you get team bonuses. And once you start building a team, you get rewarded, you know, in team bonus, and that's where your income can grow exponentially from a part-time to a full-time job, if that's what you want. And ultimately, I like to think about it like this. I know we debunked on our Instagram stories this week about the pyramid scheme, the dreaded pyramid scheme. I get it. We all kind of thought that too, but that's like really old thinking. Like that is like decades old, and people just haven't been able to let it go. You know what a pyramid scheme is when you work in the corporate office and you have a CEO at the top who's making all the money and all the minions down here who are working like you guys were talking about, the 8 to 5. Like I was that girl who showed up at the corporate office at 6:30. Okay, I had a corporate job I'm totally digressing. I had a corporate job for 2 years and it was teaching dance. So it was all connected. But and I grew the corporate ladder, which was awesome. But I was that worker that was there at 6:30 in the morning. And I wanted to be there when the CEO walked in, and I got to work and be in the management team and work with him. And I hustled. And like she said, I hustled for somebody else's dream. If you're a hustler, you should be coaching because you can hustle for your own dream, be your own boss, and you can then inspire other women to be on your team. Think of it circular, because that's really what this business is. We hold each other's hands. We're in a circle. If somebody signed up before you, it does not mean they're making more money than you. If somebody signs up after you, they can make more money than you. So it is not pyramid in any way. It is circular, and we all help each other in that way too. So the way it really makes sense for me is you build a team. You're not one coach helping all the clients that you sign up, but now you have multiple coaches that are helping other people. So of course you deserve to be compensated, because now your reach is reaching and helping more people. You're training people to be incredible coaches and servants for others. And so your money will multiply in that way. So it's a beautiful thing. I will touch on the compensation plan as far as the perks and benefits that Becca didn't quite mention that mean so much to me, was like traveling. I wanted extra income to travel. And I wanted to travel more. I never had the income living paycheck to paycheck to travel more. And that's for me what this business has also provided me. You know, not only are there at least 4 Beachbody trips a year, except this summer because of COVID and nobody can travel. But I at least do 4 a year, right? We've got our annual summit, which is amazing, where there's thousands of coaches working out in the streets and getting together, and we all get to see each other in our team that one time a year, which is amazing. There's a leadership retreat every year. There's a success club trip, which you can earn and get paid for to go to the beaches or cruises, which is amazing. And then we do our team. Our team has its own retreats, which are more intimate and special. And so I'm traveling at least 4 times a year for Beachbody. And then it's given me income to do my own trips, which has been like providing that gift that the paycheck to paycheck just couldn't do. So that added income is something that I love. If you want the compensation plan, just let us know. We'll send it to you. So I don't know, maybe Amy can touch on, I don't know if I'm going out of order, but maybe Amy can touch on like that circular thing that I was talking about, how we support each other and train and have training for our coaches a little bit?
Yeah. That's the thing is like there's so many, and again, like Kris said, we've been debunking myths on our Instagram stories all weekend, basically. As a circle of people linked together, there is always someone there to support you. So you don't have to be a fitness expert. You don't have to be an expert in social media or math for the compensation plan or business strategy or nutrition expert. Those are all things that Beachbody has taken the time and continues to take the time because, social media changes every day. I can speak on it because that's what I do for a living. And they are continually offering new training. So it's not like you need to come in really with anything in your pocket other than your desire to help people and to build your own life the way that you want to live it. And then I think, Becca, you're going to talk about how to get started, right? Like how easy it is.
Yeah, it's super easy. We're talking about a team and the community. So how do you become a part of this team? Super easy. People usually join for two different reasons: to enjoy just the discount or be a leader and grow a business themselves. And so there's a couple ways you can start. There is the option to just do the $39.95 startup fee. That just gives you your digital business center, which is your back office and everything, and gets you started. Or the best way, in my opinion, to get started is with a challenge pack, because you'll get the products, you'll get the programs for the full year, and then you'll get some of the products to try so that you can truly be proof that the products work and work on your own journey. And Beachbody one-ups you and waives that $39.95 fee if you do sign up with a challenge pack. After that, you pay a $15 business fee monthly, which is basically for your website and all the training that they do provide. Like Amy said, like, you don't have to be an expert on anything. You don't even have to know anything about fitness, because they're going to train you and they've provided you with the tools to help people be successful. And I think that's one of the coolest things, that they do provide you with so much. And I've never, ever heard of such a low monthly business fee in my life to start a business. People invest thousands of dollars to get their business off the ground. And
let me jump in on that. As a former brick and mortar person, I got something to say. Marley, which is the special stuff that goes on top of a dance floor to keep dancers from slipping, is like $10,000. So the startup on just a little like mom and pop business studio, we were at like almost $250,000. This is 40. And let me tell you also, the income potential from this versus a dance studio is, we're not even going to talk about the difference. And then as a marketer, I know what I pay hourly. And let me tell you, it is not $15 a month. That's what I charge to do graphics and everything that Beachbody provides you to market your business for $15 a month. That's all I got to say.
Right. And they do all the shipping. We're not one of those like multi-level marketing that deals with all the products, which I loved. Right. So like, I know I had like LuLaRoe and makeup and Mary Kay and whatever people that are in my life that I know of, where they have to like hold product. You don't need a room full of product. You'll never be stuck with extra product. They deal with all the shipping. So yeah.
Which is totally freaking awesome, because you don't have to deal with returns. You don't have to deal with running to the post office, especially right now, to get people their products. Plus, like I said before, you get to enjoy 25% off all your products from the day you sign up as a coach until forever, or you cancel, I guess. And who doesn't like a discount? Now I'm going to throw it over to Kris to talk about social media a little bit, because we do run our businesses on social media as well as in person. Amy was talking about this today and she freaking was on fire.
Yeah, I'll be brief too, because Amy is the social media expert. I am not. So maybe that's something that's nice to hear. When I started, well, I don't even know if Instagram was a thing. I definitely wasn't on it. I was on Facebook and I maybe had 250 friends, and I didn't use it. It's funny, you know how those memories pop up? I get the craziest memories from like years beyond of like when it first started and it was like status. And I literally have, is hanging out now. Like that's what my post was. you know? Anyway, so clearly not a professional. But you know, what's been really cool, first of all, is like one thing that we really encourage our coaches and each other to do is step outside our comfort zones, right? So if you're not willing to step outside your comfort zone, this might not be the business for you, because that's where the growth comes from. And so awesome if you don't know how to do something, because you're going to grow through it. And if you're anything like me, it's going to be an emotional roller coaster ride all the way through it. Because when I don't know how to do things, I have freak out moments. So learning social media, dealing with technology, those are not my assets. And here we are working on our computers. So it's been a beautiful growth experience. In fact, okay, so long story short, you learn, you make this silly, stupid post that you're totally not supposed to do, you know. What's great about our team, and I think that we mentioned, is that we've all made those mistakes for you. So today you don't have to make those silly mistakes. We never will be like posting and be like, oh my God, Shakeology is amazing. Like, no, please don't do that. We won't share the product names. Like you don't ever have to be that person. And we don't want you to be that person, because now there's, you know, as marketing, I'm sure Amy will step into, is like, we don't want people to necessarily know exactly what we're doing, because then that sends them to that website to go get what you have. So I might share a beautiful picture of my shake looking like ice cream and being like, oh my God, superfoods. And they're going to be like, what are you eating? And I'll be like, awesome. Let's start that conversation. That's how it works on social media, especially with like strangers that you don't know. But for me, what social media has really meant for me is it has been that roller coaster of emotions, that growth, that getting vulnerable, that scary stuff that that people can actually authentically connect with. And that's what's really cool, is that like, I know, and I think I shared about it on my stories maybe yesterday, of like, I can't do what she does. Like we all get that kind of thinking, right? Or, oh my God, we compare ourselves to everybody's Facebook, beautiful Instagram photos and their beautiful stories and all their positive things. Like what I love about what we do, and what at least our team does a lot of, and the company, is we share authentically, we share real, we share everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's what connects. That's what connects with another woman, especially that you want to probably work with. And that woman is going to connect with you based on your story. So the more you can actually share what's going on, like your messy bedroom, your kids throwing stuff all over the place. What's cool is like Amy, Becca, and I are totally 3 different women in 3 different phases of our lives. And so people want to work with you and where you're at that moment in your life. And it can constantly evolve and change. And my business in 6 years has totally changed, you guys. Okay. I have pop-ups. The girls on our team will know me intimately. I have pop-ups that are coming up from 3 years ago or 4 years ago in my business. And I'm holding a bottle of wine and I'm like, wow, Friday. And I'm like, got an apple in this hand and a bottle of wine in this hand. I'm like, balance. I'm a coach that's balanced, you know, because that's who I was. Now I'm 3.5 years clean and sober, because that was part of my journey. So now, you know, people follow you through that story. And I was terrified. I'll end with this. I was terrified to share what was really going on, and that I came to the fact that I had a problem with drugs and alcohol. It was a big, long, scary journey for me. And I was terrified to share it, especially on social media, because I have students, I have former students, I have parents that I work with their kids, you know, like that's terrifying to be able to put that out there and not worry about somebody else judging you, or somebody else saying, I don't want to work with you. I don't feel safe with my kids being with you. Like those were all the fears that I had to share my authentic story. My journey, and this is for nobody else, but I prayed about it a lot. I talked to a lot of people and women that have been going through, and I didn't, you know, I had to go through that journey. And I got to say, when I finally had the courage, and it was about a year, I kept feeling this urge of like, this is your story to share. This is because you might be able to help somebody that was like you, that didn't know she had a problem, but like, oh my God, life is so much better on the other side, because here I have a year clean and sober, and my life has completely transformed. You need to share this. And terrified. Oh my God, when I wrote my little story and I hit send on that social media platform, I was terrified, probably like close to tears. And it was the best feedback I ever received. I had the most comments and personal messages from people reaching out, and it was just, it became the best feeling ever. And it made me realize that I was scared of something I did not need to be scared of. And if I was not coaching, I can honestly say, one, I would not be 3.5 years clean and sober. And two, I would not be as open and honest and vulnerable and truly love myself, because I would have been living in fear of judgment of other people and what they would have thought. And I would have had all of these things hold me back. And so that's why I'm grateful of coaching, and I'm grateful for social media, because now it's become a platform that I can share and connect with other women on. And I'm, it's been a blessing, but I'm sure Amy can jump in with all the other marketing media.
No, like I'm getting all in my feels right now, y'all, because every time, and I have heard Kris tell that story so many times, because it is her truth, and it just gets more and more beautiful every time she tells it. Like, oh, give me a second. I think, and I do want to talk on it, because I think that is the beauty of social media versus regular marketing. We see regular marketing, traditional marketing, is a pretty little image that probably someone like myself put together in Photoshop and whitewashed and filtered and makes pretty. And that, I'm going to go on a soapbox, guys, bear with me. I will take 2 minutes. That is what is so detrimental to people, not just their physical health, but their mental health, is that traditional marketing, and I hate saying this because it's something I have a hand in, traditional marketing puts out this picture of perfection that is unachievable. And it messes with people. It messes with your mind. It makes you feel like you're falling short, because we're constantly comparing ourselves to that ideal image. Social media allows everyday people like me and Kris and Becca and you guys to tell a true and valid story. Yeah, there's filters. I am guilty of the eyelash filter all day on Instagram story, because I'm like, I hardly ever wear makeup. But being able to speak from a place of truth and real experience, like Kris has done, that's where inspiration comes in, guys. I am not inspired by anyone on a Victoria's Secret runway. No, like, yeah, gorgeous clothes, but I don't know you. I don't know anything about you or your struggles. When I see someone like Kris work hard, work her tail off, have highs and lows to get and overcome and step into a sober life, that inspires me. That is like, damn, like if she can do it, I can totally do it. And that is what coaching is about. Sorry if you're offended by the word damn. That's me. That's really truly what coaching is about. That's what we use social media for, is to story tell. That's what it's meant to do, so that you can find your people. You can find the people that are going through the same challenges and issues that you are, and don't want someone to blindly follow that they don't know. They want someone to link arms with, to say, yeah, girl, this is hard, but we are going to do this together. God, mama box. All right. So that's what social media is about. I don't want to talk about all the fancy stuff you can do on social media, because we have trainings for that. And that's not what's important. You don't have to be good at it in order to coach. I'm going to jump right into the vital behaviors, because I think too that this kind of segues. People think that coaching is all these complicated things that you have to learn in order to step into this business. So not true. We call it an earn as you learn business, right? So as you are telling people about your journey, you're making money. You don't have to go through some lengthy training. I don't know if y'all have ever, I know you've been to Starbucks. Do you know how long that training is to become a barista? Holy Moses on a stick, y'all. That is like, their Bible is like this thick, and you have to memorize like a skinny vanilla latte has 3 shots of this and 2 pumps of that and 3 things and shake it twice to the northeast corner only. It is so complicated, and they have to pass a major test before they can even start working and earning a paycheck. Beachbody is not like that. We're going to take you hand in hand. Yes, there are a ton of trainings. You can, again, study as much as you want, but you can also be telling people your story and your experience with the programs and earning money at the same time. So that is what we call being proof of the product. That's your very first vital behavior, right? Working on your own health and fitness journey. So no, you don't have to be in perfect shape. Just dive headfirst into a program. Check out the nutrition options, live the life, and work on your journey yourself. First vital behavior. You're probably already doing that, or you probably already have a goal to do that, right? So you're 25% done with your vital behaviors already. Second is personal development. This personally so hard for me because I'm super type A and I'm like, I'm tough. I'm a badass. I'm a honey badger. Like I can do anything. I'm tough. And then really it's like, no, I'm just kind of pushing all that stuff down so it doesn't get in my way. And I have to dig deep. So this is something that is my biggest challenge as a vital behavior, but it has made the biggest impact in the last year of my life. I really dove into some books to help with my mindset. And y'all, I am a different person than I was a year ago because of that second vital behavior, just working on yourself and working on your mindset and how you process things and how you see things. I started going to a cognitive behavioral therapist, side tangent. And what she does with me in our therapy sessions is what we do as coaches in our second vital behavior. And I'm like, I know this. Girl, I got you. So again, you're 50% done with your coaching behaviors. This is not taking on something new into your life. This is enhancing what you're already doing, right? Third vital behavior, of course, is my favorite, is the recognition. It's shouting out people that are doing tremendous things in their lives. And I'm not talking about like, she made $1 million, so we're going to recognize her. I'm talking about like she pressed play 3 days in a row on a workout, and that is phenomenal because she has never done that before, or she has a lot going on in her life, or he, and just sharing that and boosting people up. And that community of positivity, y'all, that's why we stay, right? Because there is nothing better in your life than having people that are on the same wavelength with your vibe as far as encouragement and energy. And you can do this. Like, I hear you, it's hard, but we got this. That, boom, all day long. And then your fourth vital behavior. And I mean, hello, 3 vital behaviors in, you're 75% done, right? All things we're already doing or looking to achieve. Fourth vital behavior, this is the easiest one in the world, y'all, is inviting. We talk about what we're doing. We talk about our experience. Like Becca said, her first couple years coaching, she was going through this amazing mental and physical transformation, and people just kept asking her like, oh, what are you doing? So I always use this analogy. I'm a huge like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, like home goods person. If I get a phenomenal dress at TJ Maxx and I wear it to work and you're like, oh girl, that dress is cute, I will talk to you all day long. I'll be like, this is a 50-50 cotton blend. It has a pocket. I got it for $10. It's at this store. You go get it right now. I will share everything I know about that dress because I love it so much. And inviting to Beachbody in these programs is exactly the same thing. You love it. It works for you. You tell your friends about it. And so those are the 4 vital behaviors, guys. Super easy. Be proof the product works. Work on your mindset. Recognize achievements and steps and efforts, and then talk to other people about it. Super, super easy. And then we just train on that. Yeah. So it's really easy. Do you guys want to hop in on anything? I blow through those because I think they're so simple.
I want to hop in all
Yeah,
your
girl,
hand movements. Oh my God, they're amazing. She's like all the things.
I may be an Irish dancer. Like I might have all this going on.
So great. Go ahead, Becca.
I did just want to say like something about the personal development. When I started, I definitely didn't think, I was with Amy, like, I don't need this. Like, I've never had any issues. But over the past 2 years, honestly, that is what has changed the most in my life and allowed me to walk away from a job that was not serving me. I was literally coming home crying every single day. And had I not taken the time to work on my mindset and myself, I probably would have stayed there like I stayed there for 2 years, miserable, just because it was comfortable. Just because I knew that I was doing well. I was moving up in the company, but I was miserable because I was being talked to terribly. I was basically being told because I was an attractive female, that was the only thing people saw, and that was the only reason I was successful, which is hard to hear in a male-dominated profession. But had I not worked on myself, I truly don't think that I would be here today, let alone be in the mindset that I am. So I just wanted to touch on how valuable that is. And without coaching, I never would have thought to pick up personal development and, as Amy said, enhance my life with that. It wouldn't have crossed my mind. So that is one of the things I'm completely grateful for, having that as one of our vital behaviors, because otherwise I don't know if I would even be here.
Well, and I can absolutely come from the opposite direction of that. So here we go. I am the person that loves, personal development books. Self-help books is what they were called before I started coaching. Not that those are all voodoo, but I honestly love that and was doing that like since, I don't know, I was 20. And so that was sort of the easiest part for me, but I will say I agree with them. That's where the fastest development comes in as a person, if you can get on that train. And in February this year, I started to sort of take a step back from my business. I happen to be one of those people that needs a break. Sometimes I can hustle, and then I can burn out and need a break. So that's, again, great with the flexibility of this job. I was also going through a lot of changes in my full-time job, not just the uncertainty. Am I going to have a job? Am I going to not? And then COVID, all this stuff hit, and I totally was in a step back, and I was trying to accept that, even though like I knew this is the best time to help people and people need this. And it's like, I could have gone in and crushed my business like so many people are right now, which I'm so happy and excited for them. For whatever reason, that's just not where I was personally. And I will say that because I listen to my personal development when I'm driving to work, I happen to have an hour commute each way to work. So that's when I would do my personal development. It made it very easy for me because I do audibles. Anyway, long story short, I was no longer doing that commute to work. So I was no longer doing personal development. I was no longer like excited or had energy around coaching. And now it's all coming very clear to me as we have been connecting with each other in the last week or two to get back and hustle and support each other and share about coaching. It's like, I have to be honest and recognize that in the last 2 months of being quarantined, this is my happiest week. I've been doing the workouts. I've been eating healthier. I've been connected with these women. I've been sharing about coaching. I've been doing these vital behaviors. I've been doing personal development, and I'm the happiest I've been in 8 weeks. Like, I cannot deny that, So anyway, I'm back.
It's one of those things, Kris, where you don't realize it's missing until it's missing, and you get back to it and you're like, oh crap, that was missing.
Mm-hmm. I was totally in isolation. I was back to not doing my morning routine. I mean, it is so easy to go back to the way I was. And I'm talking about even before I was drinking. Like, no, thank God I haven't picked up a drink, but like I was back in that old behavior, staying up late, not having a curfew, not doing a morning routine, not connecting with anybody because I can't get together with people, whatever, like those old isolating, unhealthy behaviors. And that's what I love about coaching. And that's what brought me to sobriety, is because coaching forces you to show up in your life. I never knew how to do that. I spent 12 years in Manhattan working as a professional dancer, but I'll tell you what, I didn't have the career I could have if I was coaching simultaneously, because I didn't have the tools and the know-how to show up for myself. And that's what coaching has given me, such an elevated life. So when they say like their mission statement of the company as a whole is to help people live their most healthiest, fulfilling life, it truly does that. Whether you make a crazy amount of income or not, that's your choice. You will live the healthiest, most fulfilling life, and you will be connected with women that will elevate your life. That is just a fact. So if that's something you want, you sign up and then you decide what income you want to make. Just pay for your Shakeology or have a 6-figure business. That's totally up to you,
And I think that's the best thing about coaching, is that it truly forces you to be the best version of yourself every single day. But on top of that, it gives you a community of other people who are doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. So it just brings so much excitement and joy into your life to be the best version of yourself every single day.
Yeah. Because it's hard to do on your own, people. That's why we got each other.
It really is. And that's a perfect lead into how do we help people? We help people by putting them into, we call them challenge groups, but it's really like little community pods, right? And so like Kris, Becca, and I are in a little community pod together, and we keep each other accountable. We do the same thing with the people that we help. We create little communities, but it could be based off a program. It could be based off a nutrition plan. It could be based off, everybody's reading this book, or everybody likes to knit, or whatever the commonality is. We put people together to hold each other accountable. And that's something that, whatever coach invited you, that's something that we take the lead on for you until you are comfortable to do it on your own. And that's really, truly, when you start as a coach, when you say yes to all of these amazing things that we've been talking about, when you say yes to a better life, a bigger dream, less anxiety, bettering yourself through coaching, we truly, this sounds cheesy. We link arms. We really truly do. And there's a phrase we have in our, what's that?
We're not linking arms physically right now.
No, 6 feet apart, people. 6 feet apart. We truly, there's a saying we have on Team Phoenix, which is our big team together, which is 0.02% top company level team. So we have everything and everyone that you need to support you. But we have a saying, and it's a rising tide raises all ships, which I'm not going to tell you what that means because it means something to everybody differently. But basically, we all pour into one big ocean, so everybody rises together. And that's the goal. It's collaboration over competition, which I never found in a corporate environment, ever. It was always like, watch your back, watch what you say, watch who you're friends with. That doesn't happen here. And that is, again, we'll talk all day about the community, but until you're in it, you don't really get it. And then you get in it and you're like, okay, all right. But that's how we help people, is we put them into little communities and we teach them to do what we do. And again, like we've been saying this whole time, you're the CEO of your own business. So you get to scale it however you want, whatever works for you. And you can scale it in seasons like Kris has done. Some days she's hustling and, some months she's like, I just need a little break. And that's totally cool. That's the best part. When have you ever called into your job and be like, I'm not really mentally into this right now, so I'm going to take like 3 weeks off, and then not gotten fired? It doesn't happen that way, right? So this is how coaching works. And it has been one of the best and most impactful things that I've made the decision to do. I'm sure Becca and Kris would agree. So I want to give you guys a chance. If you want to unmute and ask questions, 100%, we're here for you. If you are just like, I'm cool listening, you can do that too. Do you guys have any questions? You could be brave, or you could, if you want to type it in the chat, you can do that too. Or you can just reach out to your individual coach that invited you after this. If you have a specific question. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your energy and your sharing. Do you guys want to add anything else?
It's great.
Other than like us peer pressuring you, be like, it's amazing, just do it.
No, it's just, this was so fun.
Yeah.
Good to see your faces. And
yes,
yeah.
It's been amazing. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you have any questions, reach out to the coach that invited you. It literally takes 5 minutes if this is your thing. If you have more questions, absolutely think about it. I personally thought about it for 5 years. So it will be the right decision for you when it is. But thank you guys so much for your time. Hopefully that helped to give you a little bit of insight, and we will hopefully hear from you soon.
And don't wait 5 years like Amy did. You will regret it.
I literally kicking myself at least once a week that I didn't say yes sooner. But that's not me. That's not anybody else.
She's working through that stuff.
I am. Personal development.
Right. I'm going to end the recording. Thanks you guys so much.
All right. Bye guys. Thank you.